Welcome to the E.A.T podcast. It's episode number 32. I'm your host, Jerry. Tonight, we're going to do a one-on-one special interview. Russ will not be with us. Russ will be back next week. We'll get into the NFL playoffs and all that fun stuff next week. But this week, we're going to discuss something I mentioned a few episodes ago, and that was CryptoHoldemNFT. And tonight, we have on the show Josh Wilson, who is one of the co-founders of the project, and we're going to have him on to discuss what an NFT is, what CryptoHoldemNFT.com is, what you could do there, and everything about them and the people behind the company. So let's bring Josh onto the stream. Josh, welcome. How are you, buddy?
Hey, good, brother. How you doing?
Good. Very good. So welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, man. I like I said, a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned the project. We were discussing things in the Discord. I'll get into that in a few. And having you come on and discuss it is great. Listen, I'm not, as you can see behind me, I'm a poker guy. We talk stocks in the show. I'm not into crypto, not into NFTs. When you mention non-fungible token, it's Greek to me. So you're going to educate me as well as the audience as well with this tonight. So I'm excited. Let me ask you, so how did the project come about? Obviously, you're into poker or you're into NFTs. You got a team behind you. I want to get into them as well a few questions from now. But how exactly did the whole project come about?
Yeah, definitely. Great question. So huge poker fan, played a lot, got into the game in the 90s and 2000s in the Rounders era, like a lot of us did. I'm 43, so, I've been playing the game a long time. And then, life happens, got into my 30s, busy with my career like everybody else, and kind of fell out of touch with the game a bit. And then during COVID, got really, really kind of reinvigorated, my poker spirits, if you will, and just got to a point where I was really excited about, about playing the game again, and had the opportunity to play online and do some other really cool things. So I'm good buddies with Maria Ho, and so she's a good friend of us and of the project. And so, Maria was kind enough to invite me into her home game, and get the opportunity to play. Went from the frying pan to the fire a little bit, right? Playing against my buddies in a basement to against one of the best poker players in the world.
Well, we're gonna go right there real quick. I mean, how crazy of a home game is that? I mean, are you getting torn apart, or are you holding your own with Maria and her friends?
Yes, I'd say it's a combination of both. Maria surrounds herself with amazing people and very good poker players. I refer to myself in that group of people as a tolerable poker player. I'm there mostly for comic relief and the social aspect of it. Maria and the folks she surrounds herself with, some of the best poker players in the world. So enough to be able to hang out with them and not embarrass myself anyway. Be able to get the ball off the tee and in the air and have a good time and do that. But yeah, to say that I donate more than I cash would be an understatement.
Yeah, everybody who goes to a casino or a home game like that, I can imagine, is making a donation.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, Maria's an amazing human, amazing friend, and so just being able to get to know, and I've known her many years, but just be able to get to know her and some of her folks was just an incredible opportunity. And we played every week, and on a lot of weeks during the pandemic, it was my sanity, right? It was the only social interaction I had during the pandemic. So it really made me fall in love with the game again on a level that I didn't think was possible before. And so we, and then obviously those poker folks got to a point where they were educating me on NFTs, got into NFTs with NBA Top Shot. That was my first. I'm a big sports fan, big collector, got back into case breaks, and got into case breaks, during the pandemic prior to NFTs. So 2020 was doing a lot of packs and, ripping with the guys over at DAP Sports and, and all that. And then it was Top Shot was the next logical step for me, which unbeknownst to me, I bought my first NFT while I was doing that. And then found out about the Web3 space, NFTs, crypto, and just was hooked from day one. And so it took me a solid 6 to 8 months of just learning the space, consuming as much content as I can, and before we got to a point where we were ready to start talking about our own project.
So for the, I'm going to say uneducated because that's me. I mean, I'm not an NFT guy, I'm not a crypto guy. What exactly is an NFT and what are the benefits of it?
Yeah, absolutely. So great question, and it's really cool. The most flattering thing we can ever hear as part of the Crypto Hold'em community and as a founder of the project, and we've had a couple of folks, quite a few actually, come on and say, "I've never bought an NFT before. I don't even know what crypto is, but I love poker and I'm really interested in it." For us, that's the greatest thing. Our three core tenets of our project are access, prizes, and education. So the education piece is really huge. So an NFT, a non-fungible token, is what it is, and what does that mean, right? So, as far as explaining NFTs, in its simplest form, it's a lot of what the MP3 was for the music industry. NFTs are for digital collectibles, right? So you hear the analogy a lot, and again, I'm 43, so I remember owning records, owning tapes, records, and owning tapes mostly.
VHS back in the day. Yeah, I'm 40, so I'm right there with you.
Right. So I remember MP3s coming up being like, nobody's ever going to just buy digital music. I can't play that. How am I going to play that? Right. I need a CD player. I need to play CDs. Right. And so that's really where we are. So as far as digital collectibles, and everything's minted on the blockchain. So it eliminates fakes and duplicates. So as opposed to traditional art where you'd buy, if you buy a painting, well, that painting could be original. It could not be, you don't know where it's been, how much it's sold for. Having things minted on the blockchain, you have a permanent record. Again, that's non-fungible, meaning it can't be changed. So let's say a Bored Ape, for instance. So how much is that monkey worth, right? Who minted it originally? When? How much has it sold for? And again, as long as you're buying on a trusted link and so on and so forth, that it's legit, it's authenticated. So eliminates fakes, and it's basically in effect digital art, digital collectibles.
But let me ask you. So that brings up the whole counterfeit idea or counterfeit topic. What security measures are in place regarding fraud, regarding fakes, regarding all that? I mean, who are you guys working with, or who on your team is specializing in that to prevent that? So if someone who's thinking about getting involved in this space, right away, the scam or fraud idea might pop in their head. What can you say about calming their nerves or educating them on that?
Yeah, definitely. And especially if you're new to the space, it can be a huge concern. I myself personally got duped when I was in Discord. I answered a DM. I was joining a new project, answered a DM, tried to verify my wallet,
Mhm.
and got beat for a couple of bucks because I was green. I didn't know. So Gary V posted a tweet today. Number one rule in Discord is never trust a Discord direct message. If somebody's DMing you in Discord, don't open it.
Yeah.
And if a link feels fishy, don't open it. So the best way, to answer the question, how we're dealing with cybersecurity. So our Alex and Cyper, who are our two community managers that run our site, both have extensive cybersecurity and specifically Discord server management background. And we vetted a bunch of guys and gals on that. And then Michael, who's our community another community manager / our operations manager, chief poker officer, whatever you want to call him. He is a career poker guy and also has worked in cybersecurity by trade. So we've got to say they're grossly overqualified for what we're asking them to do is an understatement, but really smart guys that know the space really well. And as far as that's concerned, we're trying to educate customers. So as far as the vulnerability, if you will, of the asset and of the project, it's all minted on the Ethereum blockchain, and sold through OpenSea. So all of those are trusted, secure resources. The Ethereum blockchain is bulletproof. But so it's more about educating our customers about not clicking on suspicious links, never revealing your seed phrase in a MetaMask in your software wallet if you have that, being able to help folks with that. So to make sure they don't get scammed so we've got a lot of resources running that in the channel and the server.
In layman's terms, it's like you don't give out your social security number. You don't give out your PIN number
Correct.
to your bank card. That
Correct.
stuff you're keeping quiet. You're keeping to yourself. And the same thing in this conversation as well. You're keeping all that stuff to yourself.
Yeah.
You're not going out there and hey, my name is Josh Wilson and my key is this and my PIN is this and you're not doing that.
Yeah, exactly. And even more so, a PIN or a password can be changed, but a seed phrase can be used to replicate your wallet and transfer funds to anywhere in anywhere in the world. And it's basically unenforceable as far as you don't have any real recourse. So if you give your seed phrase to somebody, they can reopen your wallet on a different device and empty that wallet without, and there's not much anybody can do about it. So
No, that's it. You're done.
that's a wrap. Yeah.
All right. So surfing the website, which is CryptoHoldemNFT.com, this you guys put out there, there's 1,326 potential unique starting hands in No Limit Hold'em. Crypto Hold'em is going to use 7 decks of cards to create 9282.
That's right.
Whole cards. And it's going to be one-of-a-kind digital art. All whole cards are going to be unique. They're going to be generated with 11 possible traits, including backdrop, table, lucky charms, accessories, and more. Why 7 decks and why 9282? Where did is that anything specific, or is there a limitation on that, or why that?
Yeah, good question. So that's a starting point, actually. So why 9282? So the 1326, of course, is the numbers bared out by 52 card deck, right? So by all the different combinations. So of course that's not something we made up. So the 1326 is just how many starting hands you have, and then from there, we just wanted to get to a number. These typical, there's what's referred to a lot in the industry as a PFP project, profile picture. So Bored Apes, Doodles, Dead Friends. There's CryptoPunks was the original.
Yep.
PFP, meaning people buy it to use it as their profile picture on Twitter because to align themselves with that community, to flex if it's an ape or something really expensive, right? So when we looked at that, the typical inventory for a PFP or for a successful NFT project is around 10,000. That's kind of the magic number.
Okay.
So we wanted to get to a point. We really want to make this as inclusive as we could. We've gotten that question on the Discord a couple of times. Why 7? Why would you just do 2 or 3 decks?
Mm-hmm.
And you'll sell out. And the answer is we want as many people in the community as we can. The more folks we have in the community, the larger we can grow our community fund, and that community fund funds our prize pool and our events pool. So the more the merrier. We have the opportunity to do more than 7 decks down the line, but starting with 7 was a good number to keep it in that kind of industry standard of 10K or thereabouts.
So that brings up this question: when you guys sell out, which eventually will happen, tomorrow or a year from now or anytime in between, 9282 is not a finite number. You guys can expand from that number if you want to eventually.
We can, yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, we can for sure, and we want to walk before we can run, obviously, and we want to make sure we're doing right by those folks that have that. So I mean that will be the number for the foreseeable future. But yeah, as far as the roadmap goes, if there's an overwhelming response that a lot more people want to play the game, we talk about gameplay in a sec, then we can always expand that number. We're gonna communities. I mean, every NFT founder gets on podcast say community is everything. It really is to us, and our community feedback will dictate and inform a lot of our decision making. It already has, frankly. So we'll listen to what the community has to say, and if they want more decks or us to expand the game, we can do that.
The poker community is great, I gotta say. I mean, we've had Phil Hellmuth on the show. Obviously, anyone involved in poker knows who that guy is. We've had Jeff Platt on the show. I mean, they're real people. As much as a celebrity as they are, you can have them on a show like this and just have a general conversation like 2 guys at a bar talking about sports, poker, stocks. I mean, Phil is involved in stocks. Jeff is involved in sports, if you follow him. I mean, it's 2 great things. And the way you guys have brought that to this space, and now the crypto NFT space as well. I mean, it seems like a perfect collaboration of everything. It's a guy's thing. I'm as much as it's geared just towards guys, I'm sure you want women involved as well, but it is a guy's thing. If you follow,
of course, yeah, it's real dude stuff, right? I mean, for sure, we want to make it inclusive, right? And we have a lot of women in the community, and we're super excited to have them on board. And but yeah, of course, it's something that I can resonate with. Guys like Jeff and guys like the Phil, obviously, great guys. I've been able to have the chance to meet both those guys at the World Series of Poker this year, and was fortunate enough to be able to head to the I was at the GG Poker event that they had around the WSOP, and Phil was there. Got to meet him. A lot taller than I thought he was in person.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Everybody always says, "Were you at the GG party?" I said, "Yeah." They said, "Who were you?" I said, "I was the second tallest guy there behind Hellmuth." So, yeah, no, it feels great. I mean, great guy. And Jeff Platt's a riot. Super cool guy. He's great at what he does, and just a really good ambassador for the game for sure.
Yeah.
So
Jeff is great. I mean, he came on the show twice. We've had many laughs with Jeff. Hey,
Yeah.
we got if anyone watching live on Twitch, YouTube, or Twitter, we do have a live chat, and we do have 2 questions in the live chat right now. And the question is there any other similar projects like this? And if so, what sets your project apart from the competition?
Definitely. Really, really good question. So, there are many poker NFT projects out there. The adoption rate and the cryptocurrency and NFT adoption rate in poker is obviously significantly higher than it is in the real world, if you will, right? So, a lot of my buddies that are pro poker players, have been begging me to buy Bitcoin for many years, and sadly, I didn't listen to them until relatively recently when it was in the 60s. I listened and then it dove. So if I mush Bitcoin, you can blame me for that, I guess. But
so you're behind the 33% drop right now.
That's correct. Yeah. Josh Wilson bought into Bitcoin and it crashed. So you're welcome for that, America. But yeah, man, I just sometimes we'll talk about my sports betting follies on another show. But anyway, so yeah, those guys are super smart, in this space, and we're all the freaks and geeks, the kids in high school and college that were computer nerds and all that, right? And like that's all of us, right? So now it's paying off for a lot of these guys. So there's a lot of poker projects out there. The biggest differentiator for us versus a lot of other successful projects, Gambling Apes is a great example, right? Great project, and the whole rallying cry in the NFT world is "Wag me," right? We're all going to make it, and that's the cool thing. Is I've met guys from Gambling Apes, I've met guys from the Royal Society of Players, and on, and everybody. First of all, there's enough space in the space in the world for everyone, and a lot of their, like with Gambling Apes, one of their coolest parts of their utility is they built a casino in the metaverse, and you can play there. Awesome stuff, right? And there's a lot of other projects that have these PDE, play to earn functionality where you can earn either their token or cryptocurrency, or you can do a lot of other things in there, getting gaming licenses in Malta and places like that, and able to play, for real money or again for tokens. We didn't do any of that, so we're actually not a gambling project. We're a sweepstakes-based projects, and we're focusing really on the now, right? So there'll be a place for metaverse casinos, and there'll be winners and losers in that game. But for us, we wanted something right now that can unite poker players that want to learn about NFTs, right? And be able to play. We use Club GG as our platform, so shout out to Club GG. Those guys are amazing. So
that's great.
So we're using Club GG as our platform, and just being able to bring people together to get a game. Is something that's really important. So that's what differentiates us. The other thing is we're going to have a ton of events, both in person and virtually too. So in the beginning, we're going to have a lot more in-person events throughout the United States surrounding kind of the NFT communities, NFT LA, NFT New York. But what we found out is that about half of our members are international members. So as cool as we are to hang out with, if we're going to have an open bar and a sick party in Vegas, a lot of guys from the Philippines or Australia or the UK don't want to come. It's not affordable for them, right?
Yep.
So that's what we pushed a lot of our utility. So for instance, one of the prizes we're offering is we're sending one player to the World Series of Poker in Vegas to play in person, airfare, hotel, and $10K entry fee paid for by the project. And we're sending one player to play in the online version, the online bracelet event, $5K buy-in from anywhere in the world. And in that case, obviously, it's just the buy-in. There's no airfare accommodation. Yep. But yeah, man. So the in real life, or IRL, as they say, the kids say, utility is something that separates us from a lot of other projects.
Yeah, those World Series of Poker main event entries that you just discussed on your website. It's 3 fully paid World Series of Poker main event entries in 2022, 2023, and 2024, and then also 3 fully paid main event online entries in the same years as well. So Correct. It is going to be 6 total, 2 each year as Correct. Giveaways with the project.
Yeah, that's right, and it's And again, that's the hope, right? And we understand that, as far as investing in the NFT, that's one aspect of it, right? The WSOP seats are going to be huge. There'll be a qualifying process. We want poker players to win those, right? We don't want somebody that's, there's a lot of folks that will collect our NFT just as an investment vehicle. And
Mm-hmm.
that's, always say, do your own research on that, not investment advice, all that. But in order those prizes, we want somebody to go in who's a serious poker player, who loves the game, and is going to go in rocking some crypto hold'em gear and represent the community well, and we'll have a lot of fun with that. I mean, so that'll be amazing. And then the events too, we're going to have one event each year in Vegas to start this year. Hopefully next year will be international. We're working on that, but we're going to have a crypto hold'em poker bash in July. And that will be, everybody's invited. If you're a holder, you have exclusive access, and we're going to have some pretty amazing, tournaments to folks to play in, prizes to be able to win, some entertainment that we're lining up. A lot of really cool things happening with that.
Sounds like a great event for a guy that has a podcast that wants to stream a little bit, mingle a little bit, drink a little bit, and play some poker. If you get the hint on that.
Yeah. You're talking about being a media partner. We need plenty of those. So yes, sir. No.
Yeah,
yes,
that
sir.
sounds great.
Media partners will all be welcome, of course.
Hey, we got another question in the chat, and it says, will your project eventually have a token?
Yeah, great question. Yes. So I'm going to say yes with a little bit of a question mark at the end of it. So we will at some point. How close that is to kind of roadmap 1.5 or roadmap 2.0 is unclear. We need to, with being kind of an events company of sorts, right, and having a lot of these in-person and online events and hosting a ton of poker tournaments that are all free to play. Some will be exclusive for holders. Some will be for our community, even if you don't want to invest in the project. That takes a certain amount of bandwidth. So we will have a token. We have a tokenomics expert lined up. He's an amazing guy. He's an Iranian guy who lives in Canada. He's incredibly well connected in the token space, understands the tokenomics world way better than I ever could. To be frank, we need to figure out the use case for that token. And as far as, again, when you talk about tokenomics, you talk about a P2E or a play to earn ecosystem that those are usually involved in. And that's where we're just not quite there yet as far as how we would use that. But that's definitely on the roadmap. It's just quite a question of when.
It's a project with baby steps. I mean, you're not going to go from 1 to 1,000 overnight.
Correct.
There are steps along the way where eventually you're going to get there, but that's not, the end all. That could be the end all be all down the line or at the end of the rainbow. But right now, a token is not something you guys are extremely focused on, as opposed to getting
Correct.
everything going where you are today.
That's right. Yeah, that's absolutely right. It's just not, again, and again, frankly, those projects are out there that have a whole tokenomics program built out, and so that's there for those folks that are interested in that now. That's not us right now today.
Okay, so you, on your website, you guys got a great team behind you. You got a CEO who's Joe. You have yourself as the COO. You have Kenny, John, and Ahmad. Can you tell us a little bit about each of them, what each of them brings to the project? I mean, honestly, in a perfect world, I'd have all you guys on and we can discuss what each person brings. But just in a nutshell, what specifically does each person bring to the table?
Definitely, yeah. So Joe's background, Joe's our CEO, and Joe's extremely successful entrepreneur. Spent 11 years as a police officer and SWAT team commander in Los Angeles. So he was, that was his real job right before he went out as an entrepreneur, and then owns a political advocacy company that represents police unions and so on and so forth. So really successful entrepreneur, a guy that I linked up with in LA. So he's my business partner, and our CEO Kenny Sanders is our other business partner. Kenny rode professional BMX and motocross for 15 years. Incredibly successful. X Games, kind of did that whole thing, and then has enough broken bones and concussions to fill a phone book. So
oh boy,
same thing. Retired from that. He's been all over the world. He's got some great stories. Really awesome guy. And so Kenny's great. John Gagnon's our artist, our creative director. John's also worked with Legends Apparel, Legends Athletic Apparel. He's worked with Tom Brady. He's worked with Quavo. I mean, he's worked with some of the biggest names in sports and entertainment. Really, really, really talented guy. And once you guys see the art, I mean, you'll see guy's incredibly talented. And then Ahmad's our dev. Ahmad Azmi, great dude. He was connected with Ahmad through Sean Kelly, who's a big influencer in the space. So shout out to Sean Kelly if you're listening. And yeah, Ahmad's just been great. Ahmad and his whole tech team are pros in this world. We couldn't have done this without literally physically couldn't have done this without them. And so got a stack team behind us for sure. So we're very, very lucky to have been able to assemble this group.
The chat is very active tonight. Another question. Well, somebody in the chat loves Tom Brady. Let's get that out of the way.
Greatest living American. Thank you, Bob. You're a smart, intelligent human. Probably very good looking too. The cat teaser.
And then another question is: have you considered making a deal with any professional poker players for specific NFT decks, like their face would be on all 52 cards, but perhaps different pictures of them or drawings of them? In return, they would receive free NFTs.
Yes, we have. So not quite to that extent, to be honest. We have. That's not something that's come up, but we have a lot of ongoing conversations with a lot of poker players in the space. So, and yeah, so Maria was involved in the project early on. Was critical in helping us get that set up. She's recently stepped away to pursue a bunch of other interests. She's a real busy lady, and so she's still a close friend of the project. So as far as other poker players, yeah, we've got a bunch of different irons in that fire right now, both with Twitch folks and folks that play in person a lot. So nothing that we can announce yet. Those conversations are ongoing, but if you're a semi-pro or professional poker player, watching and you're interested in reaching out, please hit us up. You can DM me on Twitter or send us an email. We'd love to chat with you because we are building out a stable of those folks that can represent the project.
And also, have you guys had any discussions with live poker rooms yet? Discussed any partnerships? I mean, obviously, Los Angeles is a big poker community. Vegas is, one of the biggest. You have overseas in Macau if you wanted to touch into your international following as well. Then you have things like Atlantic City or Connecticut, Foxwoods, Mohegan Sun near me. I mean, have you guys had any discussions with any poker rooms or anything like that yet, or is that still a little too soon?
It's somewhere between where we are now and the metaverse kind of token stuff, right? So I'd say that's more of a roadmap 1.5, but that is definitely further up on the laundry list than, let's say, a token or let's say a metaverse casino or buying land in the sandbox, because that's more aligned with our core values of access. Again, the access prizes in education. We have a couple of celebrity turns we talked about. We're talking to different charities about, we could make a donation in the project's honor, and then select a player to go to, whomever's, so, it's kind of celebrity home game. That's something we've talked to a bunch of those folks. And we have a number of different card rooms and things that we've approached. We will have an in-person tournament surrounding our Vegas event for sure.
Okay.
We're not sure where. And then as far as card rooms in like Texas and LA, yes, we have, but because the big question we always get to is, well, okay, so 9,282 people invest and pay X number of dollars. Where's that money going to go? And the answer is we need, is going to go, the majority of it back to the community through events and through prizes. But once we sell out and we're able to see where the dust settles as far as operating costs and all that, then we can look at our budget, and our operations manager, Michael, having started advancing those conversations. But yeah, it is our intention to do live events. And we've talked to two really big players in the space who I can't name yet because we're still in negotiations that are willing to support us on that. So so really, really excited about that.
We have a Lynn Gilmartin fan in the chat, and somebody wants her on the NFT decks. If you could see that as well.
Amazing.
Yeah, I got to tell you, the chat's very active tonight. It's
I love it.
Great.
No,
yeah,
it's great.
Loving it.
Yeah, for sure. If Lynn, if you're listening, we'd love to chat with you about it. Let's give us a holler.
So the mint date is 2/22/22. Obviously, that's, you're playing with the numerics there. Can you explain what a mint date is and what's actually going to happen on February 22nd?
Yeah, absolutely. So we will have, when you talk about minting an NFT, what does that mean, right? So minting an NFT is basically, think of it almost like a reservation, right? So you're buying into the project, and there's a couple different price points you can do that at, right? So when you're buying into the project, you have a few different options as far as levels that you can invest in, right? So when you're investing in the project, we're going to have a traditional channel where we'll have a public on sale. And then we're also going to have a whitelist option where, whitelisting is typically the most cost-effective way to get involved with a project. And when you're doing that, you do that through, inviting other folks to the Discord server, kind of grinding it out, right? Like, to use a poker term, in the Discord server to earn that status, that whitelist status. And that enables you to mint at the lowest possible price. So what a mint is especially in a poker project, right? Where, if we just said, okay, here are all of our units available for sale, obviously your aces, kings, queens are all gone first, right? And then you've got a whole treasure chest of 7 deuce that nobody wants to touch, right?
Yeah, 8-3.
8-3, 7 deuce. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm a big 7 deuce guy. I seem to, if you want 7 deuce to come up in the whole cards, bring me with you. But so obviously all those. So, it's like anything. Some people are going to are going to mint some really awesome, really rare hands, and some people aren't, right? So that's just how it goes. But the cool thing is, by having the monthly drawings, like we all say, like in the 7 deuce example, 7 deuce is a crappy hand until the board comes out 7-7 deuce, on the flop, and now you're chilling, right? So the good thing is everybody will have a chance to win. We're going to have multiple contests monthly where to be able to use your hand, and that mint date of February 22nd. So there'll be a whitelist sale, which will be on the 21st, and then we're having a VIP pre-sale on the 20th. And that VIP pre-sale is going to be folks that want to pay a little bit extra, that don't want to have to deal with the sweat of, like buying concert tickets, right? Okay, so everything's on sale, quick, everyone run, and you're trying to get it, and you get in, you don't get in. Those folks we're giving people the option to pay a premium, have VIP access at our events. There's some other perks that come with that, and then be able to be guaranteed a spot effectively. And so the question that just
is minting going to be randomized? You're not totally sure what you could receive until you've got it. How is that going to work? Can you buy pocket aces or any deviation of them, or it's all random?
It's all random, and regardless of whether you pay, whether you're minting at the whitelist price of 0.2 or you're buying at the VIP price of 0.65, it's all randomized. So you're not, paying more doesn't guarantee you a better hand. There's no way the only way to purchase that will be on the secondary market afterwards. So everything is randomized. And then what will happen is when you purchase the NFT, you're going to get and you'll see what NFT number between 1,900, 282. It's actually going to be 292. There's 10 extras. We'll talk about that. And so you'll have a number, and then you'll have an icon, a Crypto Hold'em icon. And then on the reveal date, which is scheduled right now for February 22nd, or when we sell out, we'll have a reveal. And then everybody at that point, everyone will find out together what their whole cards are, what their starting hand is.
So it's all randomized. No one's going to be able to, get their favorite hand unless it's on the secondary market down the road. If the person who gets it wants to sell it eventually.
Yeah, everything's algorithmically generated and put on OpenSea, and it's a double-blind system. So it's impossible for us to manipulate it. You're going to go in, and when you mint, you're going to be assigned a number. So you can't even pick a number. Let's say when you mint, it automatically assigns you an NFT. So you can't even say I want to mint NFT number 7,282. So it's all algorithmically generated. We will have 9 final table NFTs that will be hand curated and inserted into the randomization. And those NFTs are going to have some special perks. They'll be playable as it relates to the game that we're going to be running. And they'll also be eligible for an immediate prize. So, and then we're going to have one ultra rare Diamond Hands NFT. So when you look at that, there's going to be a tremendous opportunity for folks that are interested in, having that kind of immediate payoff, right? That lottery ticket aspect. We'll have a $115,000 that's going to be total, that's going to be distributed back to our holders on day one. 50K of that. So if you mint that 1-of-1 Diamond Hands aces, pocket aces NFT, you're going to win 50K in Ethereum right off the bat.
That's awesome.
Yep. And then the other 9 final table hands are going to get paid $7,500. So straight away, if you're going to, depending on how much you're minting at, the price of Ethereum and a lot of other things, you could 3 extra money right out the door. Or if you hit that 50K, obviously you're, 10, 20xing your money. So, right from day one, we're going to be giving some pretty good payouts.
So based, Ethereum is like Bitcoin. It like the stock. It fluctuates on day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute, however you want to look at it. when somebody wants to get involved in this, are they going to pay as a price for this as the price of Ethereum goes up or goes down? Or once you get involved and you're like, hey, I want one, my price is going to be X. Now, again, I'm not an Ethereum guy, I'm not a crypto guy. So again, my question is going to come off like uneducated, but explain how someone gets involved and how the price will not fluctuate.
Yeah, it's a really, really, really good, and it's not an uneducated question at all. A lot of people are new to the space, so all we can, and again, right, we always have to say this is not investment advice. Do your own research. You hear that a lot, right? Because so not investment advice, but what we can say is if we look at the trend of Ethereum, right? So Ethereum is trading at the moment at 3173.15, which is some of the lowest prices it's been at. So if you are interested in purchasing an NFT and buying Ethereum at 3173 is better than buying it at 6,000, right? And our mint prices are tied to, so that's just common sense, obviously, right? So if you were interested in buying into any project, you want to buy Ethereum when it's low, right? And then as far as when you're minting, so our whitelist price, that's our most affordable option. So you get in is 0.2 Ethereum, right? So if you're going to come in, so if you're interested in participating in our project and you're a whitelist member and you wanted to purchase 0.2 Ethereum now, as long as you're able to do that, now would be an advantageous time to purchase Ethereum because the price of Ethereum is low. Could go lower, right? It could double tomorrow. Who knows, right? But yeah, it is all purchased through Ethereum. We're minting on their ERC tokens for the tokenomics people. They're minted on the Ethereum blockchain, and we're going to be minting through our website and then through OpenSea in the secondary sale. So all trusted partners. Always only click on official links that are in our Discord. Can't stress that enough. We've already had one fake account that's been opened on OpenSea, which is weird and flattering in a way, I guess. But calling themselves Crypto Hold'em and trying to sell whole cards. So yeah,
it's unbelievable. I mean, you guys come up with a great idea, great project, and somebody right away creates something, quote unquote, similar to scam everybody out of their money and their idea.
Yeah, it's too bad.
So you said 0.2 Ethereum. So basically, that's what, 20% for layman's terms. Is that how?
That's right.
Look at that.
Yeah. So if we, I'll break up the trusty calculator here. Yeah. So
roughly $600 if we're basing it on say 3,000 as a rough number.
Yeah, exactly. Right. At 3173 times 0.20. Yeah, you're 634.60. So that's your investment. There's also a gas fee that you have to pay, which is almost like I think of it as a transaction fee. So basically, when you're purchasing that, then you have the opportunity to you have that as a piece of collectible poker art. We have the community fund as it exists now. We'll fund the gameplay, prizes, and access and events for 3 years, and then if we're able to sign on a sponsor, that could continue indefinitely. So that's something that we're really excited about. We
got a couple of questions in the chat again. So you mainly want poker players to buy NFTs to make the gaming a better scene. But what if someone goes and buys 20 NFTs? They can't utilize all 20 at once, or can they?
Yeah. So as far as the limits go, so the limits for the whitelist and we have a partner list as well. So if we have some partner crypto dads, Secret Society of Wales, West Coast Customs, we've partnered with some big names in the NFT space that if you're a member of those projects, you come over and you're able to get access partner pricing, which is at 0.30. So we have that option as well. So our collaboration customers, our whitelist customers, and are limited to one NFT. And then if you're on the public on sale, you can buy as many as 30 actually. So its question is, people say, well, how can I play 30 hands at a time? That's not fair. Remember, we're playing with 7 decks. And again, we're playing across every conceivable combination. So when we do the physical board runouts, we're doing a physical board runout with cards, and that winning hand will be dealt, right? There'll be a winning hand or winning hands. If it's a chop, that could happen.
Yep.
So whoever holds that hand will win a portion of that prize pool. Now, so if you wanted to go out and invest in 20 NFTs, you could certainly do that. But we're doing a 25K giveaway. So if you're minting 20 NFTs, right, and depending on the price of Ethereum and the price of those in the secondary market, that's not necessarily going to be cost effective for most folks. And if they are, all the power to them. So the blunt answer to the question is yes. If you want to go out and buy on the secondary market, just like if you want to go out and buy Bored Apes, you could go out and buy 100 Bored Apes if you wanted to. But so we can't control what happens on the secondary market or limit it. But we try to structure the prize pools such that it wouldn't at that point it'd be mostly somebody who's a collector than it would be somebody who's trying to game the game, if you will.
You just mentioned some people that you partnered up with. Can you discuss the partnerships with them and why you guys did the partnerships you did? And then to piggyback off that, are there any other partnerships in the pipeline that are coming that you can tell us about?
Yes. So we partnered with so a couple of projects we partnered with. So Crypto Dads was number one. Anthony and Josh Crypto, J Crypto, Josh over there we're big fans of the project. Myself, Kenny, and Joe are all founders of this project, and we're all Crypto Dads members, community members, customers, however you want to say it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we've been big fans of that project from day one. So we're able to kind of build a relationship with those guys and through being in the community and so forth. So they've just been a great asset to us. We helped kind of mentor with us and answer some of our questions. It's hard, right? Minting an NFT project is difficult. So they've been a great resource for us. So Crypto Dads was our first big one. Secret Society of Wales is another one. Another great project we're working with. West Coast Customs, specifically their Meta Whips project. So Meta Whips is a kind of a fun little play to earn game that they're announcing. So that's been really good. And then we've got another. So we've got a few others. So we've been talking with the folks at Deadheads a lot. So I'll say that nothing official with the Deadheads guys yet, but
okay.
Deadheads, the same thing. We're all Deadheads holders, so we're just huge fans of those guys. Their project, Jeremy and his team over there, are friends of ours. So we've been looking for a way to collaborate those. Same thing with Lazy Lions. We've been talking to Lazy Lions communities and mods a lot. Nothing official on that side either, but just Knights of Degen is another one, right? Gambling Apes. So a lot of those are projects that we're working with. Blue Chimps is another one. We appeared on their Chimp Tank, which is really fun. So these are just all projects that we've appeared on and have had the opportunity to go out, explain to folks what our project is about. Ethereum Towers is another good one. We've been talking. If you haven't checked out Ethereum Towers yet, check that out. As far as metaverse spaces. So these are all just kind of friends of the program, right? Guys we've talked to that have been really cool and really receptive. So yeah, those are ones that we're doing that aren't quite official yet.
Okay.
But we're having a lot of fun.
Going back to the chat quick, a question at minting, can you only buy one, assuming each NFT is 2 cards?
Correct. So each NFT is 2 whole cards. And if you're going to public on sale, you can buy up to 30 NFTs, up to 30 starting hands. If you are a whitelist, partner list member, or VIP, you can only buy 1. So we're doing that obviously we just don't want people to paper hand it, right? We don't want people to buy a whole bunch at whitelist and then try to flip them on the secondary market. We're doing that to give folks that have grinded it out in Discord, or reward them with the lowest entry price to the community. But we're limited at that point to dissuade folks from just taking them and flipping them, and then providing other people that would want to be in, buying them on the secondary market instead of just being able to mint them directly with us, right? So that's why.
Okay. On the website, CryptoHoldemNFT.com, you guys have outlined a roadmap. Now, at certain levels, we're going to hit certain things, and you guys are going to do certain things. And I'm going to go over a few of them as we go here. At 20% sold. Now, at 20% sold, you guys are going to involve yourselves with some charitable contributions. Have you guys decided who or how much that's going to be, or is that still up for discussion? What charities or charity are you looking to be involved with?
Yeah, so we've gotten some really good feedback from we're gonna leave that up to the community. We have a charity vetting tool that Maria is really, really active in a lot of different charities. So Maria was able to share with a lot of things Maria shared with us, but gave us access to a couple different tools that folks in poker use to vet charities, right? Obviously, a lot of poker players are really, really active, as Maria is, in a lot of charitable endeavors. So Maria was able to coach us up on some of the finer points of that. So we have that tool. We've been getting a bunch of suggestions, everything from things to support pediatric cancer research, to Wounded Warriors, to Susan G. Komen, to there's a one, the name escapes me, but maybe to assist and prevent awareness around school shootings and things like that. So there's no bad choices, frankly, but what we'll do is we'll isolate the top 3 or maybe top 2, and then do some due diligence to make sure the money is having its maximum impact, and then be able to let the community decide on that.
Okay. I'll get to the question in the chat in 1 second from Bob, but at 50%, you guys are going to introduce a VIP merch line. As of right now, the merch is basically a t-shirt, hat, and a hoodie from what I saw on your website. But a VIP merch line, you guys listed this. This is going to be something that can be poker tables, can be cards, can be apparel for your little guy or your little girl with your logo and name on it. Can you tell us a little bit about the VIP merch that's going to drop at 50%?
Definitely, yeah. So we're working with BBO Poker Tables on that. So BBO is the official World Series WSOP table du jour. We're working with BBO as our product supplier. We're working on a couple different local merchandise suppliers. Our initial merch store, we actually launched it because we had a crazy demand. Folks were in the chat and in the Discord were really interested in copping some merch, and so we launched that early. So the VIP portion of it, the poker table, chips, cards, all that good stuff that process will all kick in when we hit that point in the roadmap. And because obviously we need to pay for that inventory, right? And a lot of that with COVID, supply chains are tough right now. So we will announce what that is when we hit that point in our roadmap. The actual delivery of that is up to our supplier, BBO, and George John, his team, BBO. Shout out to them. They're awesome. They've been amazing partners, and we'll be going through BBO for all of our product needs. So really excited about that. And yeah, there's going to be, and then there'll be some other second tier merch, kids stuff. We're working with a local printer here in Nashville that sources all ethically sourced garments and natural dyes, and they're making us, looking at making us a kids line for people sensitive skin. Like, we've looked into all sorts of really cool stuff, and a lot of that's come from the community. So it's been great.
If you're interested in the merch that these guys are selling right now, it's www.CryptoHoldemNFTmerch.com, and on that site you can see the T-shirt, the hoodie, and the hat. Prices ranging from $24.99 all the way to $49.99, depending on what item you're looking at. But that's where you can get a look at the merch they're currently selling. At 75% on your roadmap, you're talking about that poker bash in Vegas, which I'm interested in. So what do you guys think that's going to entail? Open bar, a couple of celebrities, a couple of games. What else are we thinking?
You nailed it, man. I mean, that's the goal, is open bar, good booze, good food, definitely a ton of poker being played, and yeah, it's our intention to be able to have some folks that people have heard of there, and up to and including the musical act, and just trying to have some good entertainment, and more than anything, just give everybody a chance to get in the same room together and have some laughs, have some cards. Hopefully, we're not dealing with COVID by then, and obviously that will have a little bit of an impact on the when and the how. But yeah, right now the target is second week of July, all surrounding the World Series of Poker main event happening in Vegas. So it will be in Vegas second week of July again, COVID and other factors permitting, but that's the plan as of now.
At 90% sold, you guys want to do a Crypto Hold'em utility gameplay event. What exactly is that?
Yeah, so the utility gameplay event will be basically, what we'll do is we're going to deal out 9 starting hands live. We're in the process of building a team of hosts and hostesses that will be our kind of social hosts and our dealers, and then we have our operations manager. Michael is the poker brains of the operation, and so Michael and one of our hosts or hostesses will deal out 9 starting hands, and basically we'll play out a live game of a live hand of Hold'em. So we're going to do it flip style. So if you've ever gone into a casino, right? Of course, everything is dealt face down, and then there'll be a bit of sweat where we reveal 1 through 9 what the potential winning hands are. And then there'll be trading windows within that. So when we reveal the 9 hands, if you don't have one of those 9 hands, you want to go to OpenSea and buy one, and get your sweat on, right, and get in the game. You can do that. And again, if the board comes out 7-7 deuce, those 7 deuces are going to be flying off of OpenSea, right? So so the chance to do that, and then and then when the turn comes out, right, you'll have again, and there'll be another purchasing window, and then the river comes out, then there's going to be we'll know at that point what the winning hand is. So then there'll be a bit of a randomization aspect. We're still tinkering the exact gameplay, but basically your rarity of your hand will also have a factor in the prize assigned. So everybody who's minted that winning hand will have the opportunity to win something. But those folks that have that rarer hand, right? So if we both have, let's say ace of spades, ace of clubs, right? Because I have deck 4, you have deck 6, and we have the same face cards, the same value. Then if my rarity score is higher than yours is, then it's a weighted draw. So then I have the opportunity to win a little bit more than you might with a lower rarity score. But again, if you're a winner, you're a winner. So still, we're like 95% of the way there with that. We're just making sure that dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's, but that'll be a lot of fun, and that will kick in. You have that 90% part of the roadmap.
On the chat, we have a question. Don't know if I missed it, but any plans to create your own virtual poker game and incorporate crypto and NFTs as currency?
Yeah, so we good question, Bob. So we hit that a little bit at the beginning, but really the question earlier was about metaverse gaming and play to earn and tokenomics and things like that. So as far as, so we are a sweepstakes-based model. So again, not a gambling website. Everything we do is free to play on Club GG. So no live money games except where it's allowed by law in person, right? So our Vegas events, obviously, we're playing poker for money because it's allowed there. But as far as the virtual poker game, so yeah, so if you're a Crypto Hold'em holder, when we do these board reveals, you will have the opportunity to win NFTs, server role improvements, access to our VIP channel on the server, and cryptocurrency as part of that sweepstakes-based model. So the answer to that question is definitely yes. We're going to be giving away 25K in Ethereum every month for 3 years. So, and that's without any sponsors or any major deals being signed. That'll all be funded from the community fund. So, $1 million+ going back, to the community. And again, like I said, that's before even signing a sponsorship or doing everything, which we've had some cool conversations about. So absolutely.
As a regular guy, not a crypto guy, not someone who's in this space, the budget behind this company and the project has to be a significant amount of money. Is that correct? Is that a correct statement?
Oh yeah, no, it is for sure. I mean, we've invested a significant amount of capital to get this thing going. Joe and Kenny and I have. It's not easy and it's not cheap. If it was, everybody would do it, right? So and the crypto and NFT consumer right now in January is much more savvy and demanding and educated than they were in September, October. Which doesn't mean if you sold out a project in September, October, it's bad. It just means that the key word is utility, right? So people are really looking for, what is the utility in this project, right? Is it just, if you will, a PFP? And for us, so utility we put at the forefront of what we're doing. We're gamblers by trade, right? So we want the opportunity to be able to win some coin, and
oh yeah.
So so that's a big part of it. So that's at the forefront of what we're doing. But yeah, it's incredibly expensive. And then there's an operations budget. But behind our team, we have Michael, our operations manager. We have another Mike who's our collaborations manager. All these people you see in the server, and all really, really qualified and very intelligent folks. Our community manager is Alex and Cyper. So our payroll will probably be close to 20 folks by the time we hit launch date, and all in the name of making sure that we're running a safe, fun, secure, and project that is successful for many years to come, and provides utility for everybody for many years to come.
That's awesome. All right, Josh, anything that I didn't touch on that you want to get out to the community before we wrap this up? Like I said with you off the air, I said 30 minutes or so would be great. We're at 53. I could keep going on and on and on, but I don't want to keep you here all night. But let's get some more info out to the people. Obviously, the website, the Twitter following, the Discord, all that. Let's get all the info out, and then anything I didn't cover. What do you want to put out there?
I really appreciate that. Yeah. So, and thanks everybody for listening and for your time today, guys. So we are, Crypto Hold'em is the name of the project. CryptoHoldemNFT is where you'll find us on social. So Instagram, CryptoHoldemNFT, Twitter, CryptoHoldemNFT, CryptoHoldemNFT.com on the web. And then our Discord is also CryptoHoldemNFT. So the Discord link you can find in any of our social. So if you go to Twitter, if you go to Instagram, any of that, We are going to be launching our Twitch channel very soon. Actually, there will be some folks now that are watching this live on Twitch, or will see it. So a lot happening with that. And then we have an AMA Thursday evening as well. So if you go to our Discord, you'll see the announcement about that. So myself and my other two founders, Kenny and Joe, will have an AMA on Thursday night. That'll be another great opportunity for folks to be able to answer questions about it. And also our YouTube channel, CryptoHoldemNFT. You can go there to see previously recorded AMAs and things like that. So we did one with the Crypto Dads founders. So we did one with the Blue Chimps. Shout out to those guys. And just thank you to the community. I mean, we're approaching 3,000 members in our Discord, and our real marketing and advertising push doesn't start till next week. So we met February 22nd. So we are anticipating, based on unbelievable reaction from the community, we will sell out. So please, if you're interested, get in there, get on that white list, get into this thing for as economically as you can, because it's going to be a can't miss project this year. So we're really excited about it.
Awesome, Josh. All right. Thank you very much. Guys, that's going to wrap up episode number 32. Like he said, anything involving the company on Twitter at CryptoHoldemNFT, the website, CryptoHoldemNFT.com. Like I said, I mentioned the merch site before, CryptoHoldemNFTmerch.com. They have the Discord as well. I will tweet that out on the E.A.T podcast Twitter page after this wraps up, and you guys can follow Josh, anybody else with the company, and you can join the Discord as well. I'm in there. I'm not as active as I'd like to be, but I'm definitely watching and seeing what's going on, and that's how I got tied in with you guys. I saw Phil Hellmuth liked something that you guys put out, and that brought my attention to it, and then I joined, and now we're doing this, so that's great. To get the word out is my goal on my end of things, so that's
awesome.
That's what I'm here for. But Josh, thanks a lot for coming on. Keep us posted. February 22nd is right around the corner, so it's just about a month away. Keep us posted on what goes on after that date, and hopefully you can come back on when you guys sell out and you go from 9,200 combinations to 20,000 or whatever it's going to be after that.
Yeah, we'd love that. Yeah, really appreciate the time.
All right, thanks a lot, Josh. Guys, this is episode 32. We're going to wrap it up. We'll see you next week, where Russ and I will be back doing our normal thing for episode 33. Replay of this will be on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter, and the audio will be on Apple Podcasts and Spotify tomorrow. From New York, have a great night, guys.